Hey, what's up? Today we're going to do a quick walk around of a camper we've owned for about 2 years now. We bought it up in Alaska and drove it all the way down to Utah when we moved. And so there's not a lot of information about it, so I just figured I'd show it to you guys and kind of help if anyone's shopping for something like this. Um, Hopefully this gives you a little bit better idea of what this camper has to offer. The one thing I will say, the first owner did a lot of modifications to it, so I'll try to point out what he did versus what actually comes with it. Um, so let's do it. Okay, here it is. This is a 2015 Livin Lite 13BHB, and as you can see by the sticker on the front, that's very faded. It's a Bearcat model, I guess, Bearcat trim. I'm not really sure what that gets you. I couldn't really find any detail on that, but it might give you from the factory some off-road oriented tires. I think it might give you a back rack, which I'll explain in a little bit. Just to get some specs out of the way, overall length is 20 feet from the license plate all the way to the tip of the tongue. Overall width is right around 8.5 feet. The box, as the name implies, is 13 feet long, and the width of the box is just under 7 feet. The axle is rated at 3,500 pounds. It's a torsion axle from Dexter. So let's look at the sticker real quick. Okay, so let's see, the weight rating is 3,900 pounds. So that assumes obviously some weight on the tongue there. Alright, so let's do a walk around of the exterior. So starting at the front, there's a lot of stuff up here. Probably adds a significant amount of tongue weight, which is kind of useful for this trailer. But the old owner added pretty much everything you see. We've got two 20-pound propane tanks in that box there, made by UWS apparently. And then this RV lockbox has two AGM batteries. Then he's got this rack, which the name I'm forgetting right now. I'll put a note in somewhere on the screen of what it's called. It's a super nice rack. The previous owner mounted this front runner water storage device, water can tank, probably the best word to use there. And then over here to the right, which I probably should have mounted, would have been cool to see, but this tray here allows you to hold two jerry cans on their side, and it's got metal straps that come up and lock in down here. I added the electric jack there, and the previous owner also added this heavy-duty Bulldog tongue there. You can see the sway control he also put on, and I think he definitely needed that because I was even having some issues with trailer sway. Because there's a little too much weight in the back based on some of the modifications he did. So continuing on to the back, you can see it's about a 8 or 9 foot Dometic awning there. So here in the back, you can see he mounted these buyer's boxes, which are super nice, really convenient for holding just dirty camping stuff or things that we want to be able to access pretty quickly. But they are heavy. So normally I think that there is a rack here that you would mount like bikes on or something, or maybe like a cooler. But I think I know he manually put these on himself, and they add a significant amount of weight. You can definitely feel it when you're towing, especially if you don't have the sway control on there. So he's got a Harbor Freight generator mounted in here, and that is on a slide, which is pretty nice. However, the generator does not like to run when it's mounted up here. I think there's too much movement. I don't know if it messes with the carburetor or something like that, but it likes to run when it's on the ground. So I'm probably gonna end up taking that out of here, and maybe if I'm gonna use it, just put it in the back of the truck, so that way I don't have as much weight. But these are really nice. They're pretty much waterproof. The only time that they got water in them was when we crossed the river, which I don't want to talk about. Yeah, here's the bigger one. We throw our little grill back here and our camping chairs and stuff like that. Pretty nice. As you can see, another thing the old owner added was these casters in the back, which I think are good in theory. However, I think they make the departure angle, well, they definitely make the departure angle way worse. So, as you can see, they hang down, I don't know, was that 6 or 8 inches? So he tried to protect the rear bumper there, but it actually just hits more often than if you didn't have them on there. So I think I'm going to remove those soon and put on some sort of like rock slider, something like a rock guard ski kind of thing that if I do come into contact with something, it'll just glide off and have a sacrificial piece of steel there versus just ripping off the aluminum bumper. So over here, it's nothing glorious, just the standard camper stuff. The normal 220 camper connection, cable connection, which we'll never use. Let's see, I think this is your heater. It does have a outside hose attachment, which is really nice. There's your water hookups and tank fill. And lastly, your water tank. Just like normal RV stuff or camper stuff. Okay, one thing I do want to mention is that the previous owner added a 2-inch lift to this. He claims he worked with Dexter to get something that was made for this axle. I'm not sure how true that is, but it seems to work. And you can see it there. It's that spacer right there, located just under the aluminum frame. Okay, so heading inside, got a typical slide out step. And this is why I'm filming it in the wide view, so it can kind of show a little bit better on the interior here. But right away you can see the bunk beds, which is one of the reasons why we got this layout, and it's the reason why it's named a 13BHB. You got the 2 bunk beds, you know, probably too small for a full-grown adult, but great for kids. And we got a bathroom here on the left. It's one of those super small combo shower and toilets. It works pretty well for what we need, something small and lightweight. Okay, so now we're at the door again, panning to the right. Now you can see we have the sink area, the kitchen area here on an island. You know, you have your typical sink. You got a gas stove with a cover, which is very messy from our trip. Haven't cleaned that up for this season yet. Also, I think you can get the TV from Livin Lite. I'm pretty sure that came with it, as well as the stereo, because the speakers are all built in there in the back. The fridge that's down here, so he installed an isotherm, which is a 2-way, so it runs off 12 volt or 120, and he claims it performed better in the Arizona heat where he had it before. It originally came with a 3-way, so that's 12 volts, 120, and propane. We really like the latches that are used. They stay locked as you travel, so you don't. Of course, this one's not going to work right now. They stay locked as you travel, so that way You don't you don't come back to the trailer with everything all over the place. We also have some kitty guards on here, so the little kids, the babies can't, the toddlers can't open whatever door they like. So moving towards the back, we have the typical dinette bed combo. So the table lays down here between the two seats, and then you rearrange the cushions, and then you can sleep. I think it's about a queen size, maybe somewhere between a queen and a full, which is plenty adequate for us. Going up top at eye level, there's these racks that the old, once again, the old owner put in. They are very useful. They help. We would not have been able to move down here as easily as we did if these were not in here. We put food and other lightweight items up here. Obviously, all the nets and all of the eyelets here we added. That goes along with the bunk bed. We have some more storage here. Again, lots of storage in this model, which is very nice. Two shallow storage bins up top here, and then we have storage underneath the seats here. It's gonna be a little awkward, but let's try this. Move these cushions out of the way, and we got more. Well, it would be storage. We have an inverter here, which the old owner installed, and I put some weight up here that they bolted to the floor to kind of help balance out that rear weight that was added when he put those boxes on. We think it definitely helps. Okay, and then under the driver's side cushions, you have all the mechanical utility stuff. There's your heater, there's your hot water tank, and there's the rat's nest of wires. Okay, moving back to the bunk beds here, got a lot of storage under here, which is very nice. And there's, as you can see, there's normally a pass-through if you didn't have the boxes back there that you could access, which would be nice for, I guess that's where you put your dirty things under there. But yeah, this storage is definitely well used when we do our camping and traveling. So we're gonna wrap up the video, but before I go, I'll let you know a couple things that we like and a couple things we dislike about it. So start with the good. As a family of 3 and soon to be 4, we think the layout works really nicely. The bunk bed is super nice for the daughter, and once we have a second, it'll be nice to have that area for the next kid as well. It's a little tight, but for the things we like to do, go out and explore and go on various adventures, it's a good size. It allows us to maneuver it down a little bit of challenging roads. Obviously, you're not taking this thing on any difficult trails or anything like that, but off the beaten path, it does really well. So now to talk about the things we don't like. So I'm just going to show you like this. We think the spindles of the axle might be bent. Now, we're almost certain this happened before we bought it. We just couldn't tell because we bought it in the winter and there was snow on the ground, and honestly we didn't really know what to look for. But it could have possibly been the old owner overloading it and caught in hitting hard bumps or something like that would have caused this to happen. But it seems to be doing okay so far. Haven't had any issues. The tires aren't wearing too badly. The old tires were definitely interesting with how they wore before we replaced them. So I have replaced the bearings, so I know it's not that, but it's something I'll just keep an eye on, and if it worsens, I'll address. The other thing we don't really like is it gets a lot of trailer sway. So obviously that's caused by the boxes we have on the back there. So it's nothing that Livin Lite did wrong. It's just the mods and what problems it caused. I think these mods in the front, all the boxes and all the junk that was added, helps that a little bit. And if we use the friction sway control there, it's very manageable. But it's just something that we always got to keep in our mind and make sure we don't put too much weight in the rear. So overall, we love the camper, and it works really well for kind of our goals and what we want to get out of it. Hopefully this was a good overview and a little bit more in-depth than the random dealer videos that are out there. And if you have any further questions or any details you want to know, feel free to shoot me an email or put a comment in. I'll be happy to try to answer that for you. So, alright guys, thanks for watching.